Now at 9, a Joplin dentist avoids jail time for interfering in a fatal hit-and-run investigation.
In Toronto, Kansas, a local business looks to make a big difference in the community this Thanksgiving. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll give you an inside look coming up.
As we zoom into a new year, the Spiva Center for the Arts is accepting submissions for their National Photo Contest. My name's Mitch Adams, and I'll bring you more details on that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Storms capable of producing hail and heavy rain are expected to move into the 4 states overnight. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. Let's go straight to meteorologist Donald O'Keefe in the Skywatch Weather Center.
Currently, it's quiet out there for our area. We're seeing some clouds and some rain build out to our west, and we're watching storms down here by Oklahoma City that will slowly make its way up to our area overnight. But right now, we're seeing a marginal risk, a 1 out of 5 chance for our area that is going to be bringing in some heavier rain and maybe some hail and some wind, but the tornado threat is very low. So that's what we're going to see for the overnight. 1 a.m. to about 6 a.m. pushing through Thursday as well. So let's see those rain chances. You can see quiet right now. Rain chances are going to start to build through the night into tomorrow morning, and they will continue through Thursday and finally diminishing by Friday. But we're still going to keep an eye out on any of these storms. So let me just go through a little bit for tomorrow morning. So 3 a.m. there's some storms starting to fire up a little bit. And then we're going to get to Thursday morning. That's where we're going to watch some showers and thunderstorms possibly start to build in. It's going to be a pretty wet and rainy start to our day. Like I was saying, it's very low chances for these severe storms. They could be a little bit on the heavier side for rain, but it's going to be very loud as we continue through Thursday morning into the early parts of the afternoon. But like I just want to reiterate, these could be strong storms and low grade severe, but still mostly going to be heavy rain and small hail and wind associated with this. But I'll have a full look at these rain chances and storms coming up.
All right, thanks, Donald. A Joplin dentist will not have to serve jail time for trying to interfere in the investigation of a fatal hit-and-run crash. The suspect is John Joseph II. Investigators say Joseph's son, Rocco Joseph, was the driver in a crash that hit and killed a pedestrian, 60-year-old Gary LaTurner, in Cherokee County, Kansas in August of 2023. Prosecutors say the charges against the father are because he and his son later returned to the scene where they failed to report the crash and left again. In October, John Joseph II pleaded no contest for attempting to interfere with law enforcement in the crash. As part of a plea deal, prosecutors dropped a second charge of contributing to child misconduct. Today, a judge sentenced him to 1 year probation. The case against the son is still ongoing. Parsons police continue investigating a shooting that happened Sunday morning. Officers responded to an apartment where several people confronted a man over a domestic dispute. Police say the group held the man against his will before he escaped and was chased. That's when he allegedly fired his gun. The shooter was released because he legally possessed the weapon. Authorities are seeking charges against a juvenile for attempted murder and an adult for aggravated battery. No one was hit by the gunfire. Well, this Thanksgiving, one local business in Toronto, Kansas is determined to make a difference. KOAM's Kenny Foreman introduces us to the Grumpy Bear.
In food deserts such as the city of Toronto, Kansas, groceries or even a Thanksgiving meal aren't always easy to come by. That's why Melanie Collins, owner of the Grumpy Bear Trading Post, wants to help make sure that her community doesn't go hungry this Thanksgiving.
There's no grocery stores for miles. And so we started the grocery side of it to make sure that Toronto had food and that, there's a lot of retired people out here who don't necessarily like to drive or have vehicles.
Collins' vision for a well-fed Toronto hasn't wavered since the Grumpy Bear's grand opening last 4th of July. And now the place where people can go for affordable groceries will also open its doors for those looking for a Thanksgiving meal.
It's a free will Thanksgiving dinner, so everybody's invited. You just come in, get your food and donate if you'd like, or don't donate, whatever. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. The whole point is to just come and make sure you get to celebrate Thanksgiving.
Although the business is still trying to attract more customers, they have no issue with not charging those who want to enjoy a nice meal with others.
We're trying to help as much as we can. We still have to make a profit. We still have to pay the bills. But if we can, for one night, delay profit and put community over profit, that's what we'll do.
And Collins hopes people will continue to stop by even beyond the holidays.
We want to celebrate the town. The town is kind of a sleepy little town. We want to get everybody excited about the fact that we're here and to let them know that we are here for them. If they do need something, we are a resource.
From groceries to supplies to antiques, helping a town get the resources it needs. In Toronto, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The Thanksgiving dinner will be held from 5 to 8 p.m. In addition, there'll be a Christmas window unveiling and a shopping event on Black Friday at 6 p.m. Nearly 130 aspiring writers gathered at Pittsburgh State University today to learn from published authors. The PSU English Department hosted its 4th annual Writers Fest, a day filled with hands-on writing workshops. The event offered 3 session slots packed with a variety of workshops.
We also have some sessions that will be just for fun, like the typewriter room upstairs. So that gives them a chance to sort of play around with typewriters and see what a tactile experience about writing something is like.
The workshops focused on fiction, poetry, children's literature, and creative writing strategies for the classroom. Whether you're a weekend photographer or a seasoned professional, the Spiva Center for the Arts wants to see your work. The Photo Spiva competition is now accepting submissions for its 50th year. KOAM's Mitch Adams shows us why this could be your chance to shine.
It's incredible to see the submissions we get every year because it truly depends on the juror, what photos are chosen. So if you're brand new, this could be something extremely cool for you to try as well. Don't be scared, don't be nervous.
The Spiva Center for the Arts is accepting submissions for their Photo Spiva competition. The competition will be celebrating its 50th year, spending a half a century giving photographers a chance to compete nationally.
Overall, in the 2025 exhibition, 20 states were represented. So this call for entry is open nationally. All U.S. states and its territories can enter. So again, amateur, professional, we want to see your work in your style, traditional, digital. Yeah, we're super excited for our 50th year.
The event is unique because the competition is not limited to professional photographers. Work done by amateur photographers is highly encouraged as well. Last year, more than 100 entries were selected to take part in the exhibition, which doubles as a chance for participants to connect with one another in person.
We love seeing the photographers connect with each other too at our reception. It's just really important to give people an outlet because photography is really cool to see through somebody else's eyes.
Reporting in Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Online submissions will be accepted through January 6, 2026, with the opening reception and awards taking place on March 13th. Well, coming up, a new health care plan.
Republicans are racing to come up with a new health care plan before premiums spike for millions of Americans. I'm Rebecca Castor with the latest proposals just ahead.
And later, volunteers have been working for months to create a massive Christmas light show in Carthage.
The Masked Singer is back! Best used car selection and savings are only at Roper Honda.
Now that the government is back open, Republicans are trying to make good on their promise to address high health care costs. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more on the latest proposals in Washington.
Rising health care costs were at the center of the government shutdown, which finally came to an end last week, only after Republicans promised to work with Democrats on a solution.
Our healthcare system is a mess. Everybody knows that.
Democrats want to extend expiring Obamacare tax credits to keep costs down. But several Republicans, including Louisiana Senator and Dr. Bill Cassidy, are working on proposals that would send federal assistance directly to consumers instead of insurance companies.
The president and I want to send 100% to patients to put into an account to spend on the health care that they want, not just the health care that the insurance company allows them to have.
The law currently allows insurance companies to keep 20% of Obamacare subsidies as profit and to cover overhead costs, leading President Trump to say the only health care he'll support is sending the money directly back to the people. But critics argue that won't be enough.
You know, that's totally absurd. You get a $6,500 check and you have to pay for a $150,000 drug. There's only one path forward at this point, and that's to extend the tax credits.
At least a handful of Republicans also support extending the tax credits, which expire at the end of this year, to give lawmakers more time to come up with an alternate plan. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Health officials are now calling ultra-processed foods a major global health threat. A letter published in The Lancet says the rise of ultra-processed food is reshaping diets worldwide, replacing fresh and minimally processed foods. Ultra-processed foods are high in sugar, unhealthy fats, and chemicals and additives, and are linked to health conditions including obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. New research highlights how even light smoking can affect your health for decades. A study published in PLOS looked at low-intensity smokers. Those are people who have 2 to 5 cigarettes a day. Not only did they have a more than 50% higher risk of heart failure and death, they still had an elevated risk up to 3 decades after quitting smoking. However, researchers point out that quitting smoking does slowly lower health risk. Well, Donald is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, Carthage celebrates a home transformation after volunteers restore a 1946 house at no cost to the owner.
And thunderstorms dominating our morning commute. We'll have
Arts and Entertainment Complex, home of Connect-A-Culture and Spiva Center for the Arts.
We're tracking some severe storms that will be pushing into our area overnight into Thursday morning. Let's take a look at the Skywatch storm tracker. So as you can see on the radar, we do have some storms down to the southwest of us, down by Oklahoma City, that is eventually going to slowly push its way into our area. Right now we're pretty quiet. There is some rain out there to our west near Wichita, but overall we're looking pretty good. But there is a marginal risk for severe storms tonight, 1 out of 5 chance. But the main threat is going to be heavy rain. There's a very incredibly low chance for some tornadoes and maybe some small hail and wind, but the main threat is going to be that rain. But we're still going to watch it. Timing is going to be about 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. for the majority of the storms. But looking at our current conditions, quiet at the moment, but things are going to change. As we can see for our rain chances, quiet for now, and then as we progress through the night into tomorrow morning, our rain chances are definitely going to be there, and they will stick around through Thursday and start to finally diminish by Friday. But let's take you through time for these storms. So we're looking at 3 o'clock in the morning for our Thursday. There's some storms coming through, and then by about 6 o'clock, as you're getting up and out the door, there's some storms. So these storms, like I said, they could be strong, low-grade, severe, but we're still going to watch as the night progresses. And then by the time we get to noon, it just becomes more rain. There's going to be a lot of rain, still some rumbles of thunder, possibly some lightning, but it's going to be more widespread and scattered also by the 4 o'clock hour. And we might get periods of sunshine, so that will get us temperatures about the mid-60s, maybe about 67, 68. And then by about Friday, still some showers are going to be lingering around, but it's finally going to start to dry out. But let's look at our rain accumulation for this system that's going to come through for tonight and through Friday. So some areas could see about an inch, inch and a half, 2, maybe pushing about that 3-inch mark. So definitely much needed rain, even though it's going to be on the heavier side. So for your day planner, Joplin, 60 degrees at 7 a.m. Thunderstorms all through the day. Rain chances getting up to that 67 mark. Downtown Joplin or Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, nice right now, because like I said, things are going to change over the next 12 hours. So let's take you through time through the upper flow. So that was our first system that pushes out. Saturday and Sunday dry out. It's going to be a pretty nice weekend, but look at this. By Monday at 6 a.m. But by Monday, another system comes in and brings those rain chances back. Tuesday and Wednesday start to dry out again. As you can see, by Wednesday, we're going to track another system. So this is a big travel week. This is when Thanksgiving is going to be. So if you're driving out on the roads, Tuesday and Wednesday are probably the best day to do it, because look at our Thanksgiving. We have a system coming through that could bring in some rain chances and also maybe a few things of snow as well, but it's going to be very cold. So Thursday through Friday, rain's going to be there. We're going to dry out by Saturday, and things are going to look pretty good for Saturday and Sunday before that next system comes in on Monday, bringing those rain chances again. And then, like I was saying, about Tuesday through Wednesday, we're going to start to dry out a bit before that next system comes in and possibly brings in rain chances and maybe a little bit of snow as well. Taking a look at our 10-day here, 67 degrees for tomorrow. Thunderstorm chances through the day. Saturday and Sunday start to dry out a little bit. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, I say, are probably going to be the best days for travel before it really cools down for our Thanksgiving.
And those are the most traveled days as well for Thanksgiving too, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, glad that the weather is going to be good though.
Yes, of course.
All right, thanks, Donald. Well, coming up next, privatizing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
A new proposal for two giant mortgage companies could reshape U.S. housing policy and the impact to shareholders involved. I'm Darren Battello with Fox Business. I'll break down the details next.
Season 14 is ready for takeoff!
Army Red Kettle campaign.
Register to ring.com.
The Trump administration faces a major decision about the future of America's housing market. Mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have been under government control since the 2008 financial crisis. And now a billionaire investor with a major stake in both companies has a plan to return them to private ownership. Fox's Darren Botello explains the proposal.
Experts say the next phase of U.S. housing policy will have to balance affordability, risk, and taxpayer exposure. Billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman says he has a plan for how mortgage finance giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac could fit into that future.
I totally agree with the president's ambitions here. This achieves his objectives in a kind of slow and steady approach, but our view is rushing to an IPO is a mistake.
Ackman's hedge fund is the largest common shareholder in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The two giant mortgage companies have been under government control since the 2008 financial crisis. Ackman proposed a three-step plan. Step one, acknowledge that the government bailout has been repaid.
The government lent $191 billion. The entities, the Fannie and Freddie, paid back $301 billion. The government got almost a 12% return.
Step two, make taxpayers official owners.
The government owns 79.9% of both companies. The government's still completely in control.
Step three, return the companies to the stock market.
Creating more transparency about these entities, listing them on an exchange where analysts can cover them, oversee them, investors can invest in them. And that gives the administration time to work through the capital rules, make sure that there's no threat to the mortgage market.
And as far as the timeline goes, Ackman said a deal like this could be finalized before the end of the year. In Washington, Darren Battello, Fox Business.
A Carthage family celebrates a home transformation thanks to local volunteers. Vision Carthage held a ribbon cutting today for another completed restoration project on West Central Avenue. The Restoration Carthage program has transformed 65 homes since 2016. Through the program, volunteers and skilled workers partner with local organizations to provide free exterior repairs to families in need. Today's 1946 home received new siding and insulation at no cost to the homeowner.
They're very happy and very grateful with God for all the donors to come together with this project. It's a big blessing.
Today's celebration also included a $5,000 check presentation from the Corley Memorial Trust to Vision Carthage. Coming up next, the artist behind Deadpool and X-Men stops in Webb City, allowing fans to watch him create art in real time. More families face food insecurity.
I'm not joking.
Marvel Comics illustrator Jerry DeCare made a special stop in Webb City today, bringing his live drawing performance to Heroes Wizards Comics. DeCare, known for his work on Wolverine, Deadpool, Thor, X-Men, and more, spent the afternoon meeting fans, sharing stories, and even giving away the art he created during his demonstration. The commercial artist spoke about his early start in art, saying he began drawing at just 7 years old, a talent so unexpected even his grandmother didn't believe he had done the work himself.
Yeah, in fact, in Missouri here, St. Louis, Missouri, I go to Ladue Middle School, and I've gone there every year for 20 years in a row. And what I do is I show the connections between mathematics, science, and art. So the core subjects that are so valued in our educational system are all a part of what makes the superhero possible. And so, in other words, to get to the fun, you got to go through the work.
The event didn't just spotlight DeCare's art, it also gave local fans a chance to connect with the creative process behind some of their favorite Marvel characters. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Russia launches a deadly attack on Ukraine while the White House makes another attempt to stop the fighting. I'm Greg Pelcott in London. That's my story coming up.
And Congress introduces a bipartisan bill to pay air traffic controllers during future shutdowns.
Big Bang Theory.
You're watching the 4 states most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Flight cancellations were a major disruption during the government shutdown. And now a bipartisan group of lawmakers want to protect air traffic controllers. This comes ahead of the busy holiday travel season. Fox's Lillian Wu reports.
The government shutdown ended almost a week ago, but some TSA officers in Arizona say they still don't have their paychecks.
Because they didn't get paid. They couldn't pay their rent.
But it was different this time. It seemed like politically it was way more just cutthroat.
But lawmakers showed a rare glimpse of bipartisanship by introducing legislation that would allow air traffic controllers to get paid during future shutdowns.
I need Congress to take action. If there is another shutdown, I want to make sure air traffic controllers get paid. I think that would go a long way for both Republicans and Democrats to take this off the table.
We're doing 2465. Are you guys ready to move up?
The bill proposes funding salaries, operating expenses, and other FAA programs by tapping into a little-used $2.6 billion fund. Transportation Committee staffers estimate it would provide enough funding to keep FAA operating for 4 to 6 weeks. The fund was created years ago to reimburse airlines if the government commandeers planes for a military operation or another use and damages them. But that is not common anymore. The last time there was a claim was 2021. Over the years, lawmakers have tried a handful of fixes to keep essential aviation workers paid during funding lapses. What could make this bill more attractive is its reliance on the fund, limiting the potential cost of doling out paychecks.
If we have just at least that release valve to make sure that the controllers get paid and we don't have this disruption in the future.
In New York, Lillian Wu, Fox News.
A tree is on its way to the White House, fulfilling a tradition that dates back decades. This 25-foot con-color fir from Michigan was chosen as this year's Christmas tree for the White House Blue Room. It's expected to reach Washington early next week. The National Christmas Tree Association has held a contest for the prestigious post in the White House since 1966. Winning grower Corson's Tree Farms owner Rex Corson says this tree was picked in part due to its dark green color.
We're very honored and very proud to be able to represent the real Christmas tree industry, and this is the 6th time that we've competed. So we've had, in 2015, we had the Reserve Grand Champion tree. So we presented a tree that went to the Vice President.
According to the White House Historical Association, Christmas trees have been featured in the White House since 1889. First Lady Jackie Kennedy was the first to introduce the tradition of a themed Blue Room Christmas tree. There was another night of deadly attacks across Ukraine that ended with NATO scrambling fighter jets. As the fighting continues, the Trump administration is reportedly working on a peace plan to end the war. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more.
Russian forces carrying out massive strikes on Ukraine overnight. At least 20 people were killed and dozens more injured as drones and missiles targeted energy and transport infrastructure. At least one drone entered Romanian airspace during the attack, forcing NATO to scramble fighter jets.
We started going down to the subway when debris hit near our home. It's very scary when you look at that hole in the ground and you just can't pull yourself together.
But the Trump administration is reportedly working on a new proposal to end the war. According to the Axios news source, U.S. officials are developing a 28-point peace plan modeled after the Gaza ceasefire. It would address peace in Ukraine, security guarantees, and future relations between the U.S., Kyiv, and Moscow. President Trump says he's still hopeful he can end the fighting.
I've actually stopped 8 wars. I have another one to go with Putin. I'm a little surprised at Putin. It's taken longer than I thought.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected to meet with American military officials in Kyiv on Thursday for peace talks. Today, he's holding similar discussions with Turkey's President Erdogan.
We will talk about the maximum possible ways to ensure that Ukraine achieves peace. We have some positions and signals from the United States.
On Tuesday, the State Department approved the possible sale of upgraded Patriot missile systems to Ukraine to fend off future attacks. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Well, Donald is next with a complete look at your forecast and later signs of the Christmas season.
thousands of lights and only a short time to prepare. Tonight on KOM News, we'll journey to the Way of Salvation Light Show and see how they get it done each season. I'm Ty Parks, and that story coming up.
During the Black Friday Super Sale.
Tracking some severe weather that's going to be pushing through our area late tonight into Thursday morning. And taking a look at the Skywatch storm tracker, there you can see there is some severe storms down there by Oklahoma City and Tulsa. That's moving up our way. We have some rain and storms starting to fire out there by Wichita. So we're watching as this progresses through the night and into tomorrow morning. So right now there is a 1 out of 5 chance for severe storms tonight, a marginal risk, but it is on the lower side for tornadoes. Definitely don't worry about that. Very low, but the threat is mostly going to be heavy rain and some wind and maybe some small hail for our area. So we're just going to keep an eye on that as we progress through tonight into tomorrow morning. But right now, conditions look pretty good for our area, 57 degrees, but things are going to change as we go through the night. So as you can see, conditions are pretty good, but then we're going to start to see that rain start to build in for tomorrow morning and through the day, and then finally drying out by Friday, but a lot of rain is expected for our area. So let's take you through time for these storms. So this is tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. Here's some storms that are going to be pushing through, and then there's going to be more storms at that 6 o'clock hour. This is when we're going to see some of those stronger storms that could be pushing through, bringing in that heavier rain. Some lightning is going to be a little bit loud out there, but we're still going to see storms are going to be they're going to be strong, but they're going to be on the low grade severe. But we're just going to keep watching them as we progress through the evening and the overnight. So by tomorrow at noon, they're going to be more widespread showers and thunderstorms. Even though they're going to be on the weaker side, there's a lot of rain even by the 4 o'clock hour for tomorrow. So as you're starting to get out the door to go home from work, rain's definitely going to be there. And there could be some brief periods of sunshine that also could bring the temperatures up to the mid 60s. So how much rain are we going to get? We're going to get about an inch across most of the area, 2 inches. Some areas could see maybe 3 inches as well, but we definitely need the rain. It's been quite dry out there for the last couple of weeks. All right, so for tomorrow in Joplin, 60 degrees as you're getting outdoors, thunderstorms and showers through the day, warming up to that 67 degree mark. Downtown Joplin, Cornell and Arts and Entertainment Complex, not too bad right now. Like I said, things are going to change as we go through the next couple of hours. So there's our system. Let me take you to the upper levels. There's our system pushing out. Saturday and Sunday look pretty good, but there's our next system starting to push into our area for Monday. Another chance for rain on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday are big travel days because we know what's coming up next week, Thanksgiving. We can actually see another system coming in on Wednesday, and there by Thursday for Thanksgiving, there's a possible chance for more rain, colder temperatures, and maybe a few things of snow. But right now we're going to watch that because it's so incredibly far out, but we'll see what happens over the next week. All right, let me take you through time again. So Friday, that system starts to push out. Saturday and Sunday, dry out. Temperatures in the mid 50s and 60s for Sunday. You can see that next wave of rain coming in on Monday. That's going to dry out by about Tuesday. Good travel day for also Wednesday as well. And then there's that next system coming in for Thanksgiving, bringing in those rain chances as well. So let's take a look at our 10-day for tomorrow. 67 degrees, thunderstorms through the day. Showers again on Friday a little bit, but we dry out on Saturday and Sunday, and good travel days for Tuesday and Wednesday before cold for our Thanksgiving.
Perfect, because those are the most traveled days, so we need to have nice weather those days. Get the rain in and out.
That most definitely.
All right, and you guys will be watching it tonight.
Oh, yes.
All right, thanks, Donald. Well, still ahead, high school football playoffs are winding down with quarterfinal and semifinal action this week. We'll preview some of the matchups coming up. Plus, 2 Miami War Dogs softball players inked their names on the dotted line to continue their athletic careers at the collegiate level. Sports director Ryan Blank has those stories and more up next in sports.
Looking for your next. The Pitt State volleyball team is gearing up for the MIAA postseason tournament beginning tomorrow. But on Wednesday, a pair of seniors received conference recognition. Senior middle blocker Anna Dean has been named first team all MIAA, becoming the first Gorilla since 2022 to be named to the first team. Dean has also received the inaugural MIAA Blocker of the Year award after leading the conference in total blocks and blocks per set this season. Then there's senior libero Josie McCroskey receiving recognition as well, being named an All-MIAA honorable mention, becoming a 3-time all-conference performer. The Gorillas open the MIAA tournament tomorrow afternoon against the 16th ranked team in the nation, Missouri Western. First serve at noon from St. Joe. As athletes across the country continue to solidify their college commitments for athletics, a pair of Miami softball stars put pen to paper on Wednesday. Danae Green and Hayden Pilkington signed their national letters of intent this afternoon. Both players will continue their softball careers at the Division I level, with Green heading to the University of Missouri-Kansas City and Pilkington joining the BYU softball program. And while it's an exciting day for the dynamic duo, they said it was even more special because they were able to celebrate together.
I really didn't even know anything about BYU until September 1st when they contacted me. And then I went on the visit and it just felt like home, and I just knew that was where I needed to be.
I've known the coaches for a long time. The pitching coach up there I have a really good relationship with, and I went and toured the campus with them, and I fell in love with the student life and what they stand for as a coaching staff. I played travel softball with Hayden from when I was 8 till I was like 13, and then we moved to the same school, so we've known each other for years. It's very special that we got to play our 4 years in high school together, and now the fact that we get to sign together and have all our families here together, it's just like one big family reunion.
High school football playoffs are in full force, with 7 of our local squads still fighting for a state title. Let's learn about these teams as they get ready to take the field this week. Starting in Kansas with the Labette County Grizzlies, who are making their first state semifinals appearance in program history on Friday. Under first-year head coach Bradley Argabright, the Grizzlies have their best record in over 2 decades, including their first ever win over Pittsburgh High this season. They face Bishop Miege at home on Friday. In Missouri, the Carthage Tigers are back in the state quarterfinals after winning their first district title since 2022 against Republic last week. This Tigers squad is as dangerous as they come, with one of the top quarterback-running back duos in the state, with Zane Browning and Landon West. They battle Capital City on Saturday. We can't talk about the postseason without mentioning the Lamar Tigers. When playoff football comes around, there is not a team more dangerous than the 2-time reigning champions. Coming off yet another district championship, Lamar has won 5 in a row and take on Liberty this Saturday for a spot in the semifinals. Also in the Show Me State, the Seneca Indians, who have won 10-plus games in each of the last 4 seasons. And this Indians offense is one of the best in the entire state, averaging over 47 points per game, led by star running back Roman Miller, who's found the end zone 3+ times in each of the last 2 weeks. Seneca battles Mountain Grove in the quarterfinals on Saturday. And in Oklahoma, the Fairland Owls have hit their stride over the last month with 4 straight wins. The Owls are 9-2 this year after only winning 3 games in 2024. Carson Schurz leads a dynamic offensive attack, but the defense is what sets the tone for this squad. The Owls' defense has held opponents to under 10 points in 6 of their 11 games this season. Fairland takes on Mangum in the quarterfinals this week. Also in Oklahoma, the Grove Ridge Runners are gearing up for quarterfinal play. In his first season as head coach, Ryan Keenup has led the Ridge Runners to a 10-1 record, including 6 straight wins. And this Grove offense is electric, averaging 44 points per contest, led by the trio of quarterback Colby Watson, running back Gavin Wyatt, and receiver Isaac Sheffield. The Ridge Runners take on Tuttle this Friday. Rounding it out with the Wyandotte Bears, 3 years ago, head coach Doug Buckmaster took over a program that won only 1 game. Over the last 3 years, the Bears have won at least 7 games each season. And this year's veteran-heavy roster has lit up the scoreboard and proved to be a threat in Class 2A. Wyandotte, they face Stroud in Friday's quarterfinals matchup. That's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
Millions of lights will illuminate Carthage this Thanksgiving night when the Way of Salvation Church opens its annual Christmas display. But creating this spectacular show takes months of preparation and a small army of dedicated volunteers. KOAM's Ty Parks shows us the hard work behind the holiday magic.
Way of Salvation Light Show goes live Thanksgiving night, but it takes a lot of work to get it going.
It's difficult because lately we ran out of personnel. I mean, we only have 5 or 6 guys working on it every day. I mean, we started right away after Marian Day, which is September, and all the way to Thanksgiving when we open.
These workers, and sometimes some of the members of the church, help out when they can.
There's millions of lights every day. We cannot keep count, but like 10 or 1,000 millions of light bulbs out here. Yeah.
The money that is raised through donations will go to replace the lights that have stopped working.
Like I said, I want to stay right here pretty much all day. Yesterday, we stayed like all day, text the lights and everything. And today, we have to like separate it, spread the lights, which one works, which one not. Try to be, make it like good and nice. And Like I said, we stay all day today also. I think we're ready for next week, for Thanksgiving and everything.
The hours of work is worth it to the church, the millions of lights to show this is the way.
What's the reason for the season? Jesus is the main reason for Christmas. Hopefully that people get out of it. The message of Christmas is the love from God that He sent His only Son.
In Carthage, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The Way of Salvation Light Show begins Thanksgiving night at 6 p.m. Up next, a new holiday movie celebrates overwhelmed moms who often get forgotten during the Christmas chaos. You've got a preview. Michelle Pfeiffer and Dennis Leary bring festive family fun streaming on Prime Video December 3rd with Oh, What Fun. We have an early preview for you with the cast. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Dinner's ready! Michelle Pfeiffer and Dennis Leary lead Oh What Fun. The Christmas comedy is about a mom going all out for her family during the holidays. While her family gets so caught up in their own drama, they forget about mom. And it sends her on her own festive adventure.
Mom's closed up shop.
Pfeiffer had fun kicking up the comedy in this one.
I never think I'm very funny. I get a little daunted by comedy. I remember saying to Michael Showalter, "You better make me funny." So that was our running joke throughout filming. I did some ridiculous things in this, some of which actually didn't end up in the film. I wish it had. I wish all of that silliness had ended up in the film, but it would have been 4 hours long.
The cast shared thoughts on how to show more appreciation for the family during the holidays.
We can get caught up in the intensity or excitement of the holidays, and it's always good to remember to be thankful for having the people that you love around you.
Just spending quality time, if you can, or even just picking up the phone.
Have more gratitude. I do have this sense that people are feeling that this holidays. I think that, we've been through some tough things over the last few years, and I think the sense of gratitude and the meaning of family and the appreciation for each other.
Leary loves another takeaway from the film.
I think the movie response that we've been seeing from people, including my own wife who saw it, is, hey, it's about time that somebody stood up and did a movie, a Christmas movie about the moms.
I can't decide if she's an icon or a train wreck.
Icon. Oh What Fun streams on Prime Video December 3rd. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of goats enjoying an early Thanksgiving feast at the Point Defiance Zoo in Tacoma, Washington. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.